Adam Johnson was a Premier League regular with 12 England caps and a secure future. Then a single arrest in 2015 ended everything overnight. Not injury, not decline, but conviction. And a 6-year prison sentence erased his football identity at just 28. How does a career this stable collapse so suddenly? And what really happened behind football's final, irreversible break? Adam Johnson grew up in Sunderland, a city where football is woven into daily life. From his earliest days, the game surrounded him on schoolyards, in parks, and at home. By age 12, Johnson's talent stood out enough for Middlesbrough's academy to take notice. He left his hometown to join their youth system, a move that meant long journeys and early sacrifices, but opened doors few could access. Coaches at Middlesbrough quickly recognized his natural speed and comfort on the ball. He was a left-sided winger with balance and vision, able to take on defenders and create chances from wide positions. As a teenager, Johnson's progress was steady and visible. He trained alongside older players, absorbing lessons from academy staff who had developed other local prospects. The environment was competitive, but Johnson thrived. By 17, he was ready for senior football. On March 17, 2005, he made his first team debut in a UEFA Cup match against Sporting CP, coming on as a substitute. 11 minutes on the European stage at such a young age was a clear sign of trust from his coaches and a signal to the wider football world that a new talent was emerging. Johnson's early years at Middlesbrough set the foundation for everything that followed. He was not just another academy hopeful. He was a player whose abilities and work ethic earned opportunities beyond his age group. Local roots, academy discipline, and a breakthrough into senior football shaped his professional identity long before the Premier League spotlight found him. Manchester City came calling in February 2010. Johnson, just 22, signed for a club on the rise, joining a squad that would soon challenge for every major trophy in England. The competition for places was fierce, but he found his role on the wing, delivering assists and scoring goals in front of packed stadiums. In his first full season, he lifted the FA Cup. The following year, he contributed to Manchester City's first league title in over 4 decades. These were not cameo appearances. He played in 89 Premier League matches and made his mark in big moments. His rise caught the attention of England's national team. From 2010 to 2012, Johnson earned 12 caps, sharing the pitch with established internationals and representing his country in friendlies and qualifiers. He scored for England and featured in matches against teams like Mexico and Montenegro, building a reliable reputation as an attacking option. In August 2012, Johnson returned to Sunderland. The transfer, completed on the 24th, made headlines not just for the £10 million fee, but for the story of a local player coming home. Sunderland's manager at the time, Martin O'Neill, praised his ability and vision, saying he was a player who could excite the fans. Johnson became a regular starter, rarely missing matches and scoring important goals, including winners against local rivals. For several seasons, he was a fixture in the team, a familiar face for supporters, and a reliable presence in the dressing room. By his mid-20s, Johnson had achieved what many dream of: trophies, international recognition, and a secure place at his hometown club. The routine of training, match days, and media attention became the fabric of his life. There was no sign that this stability would ever be interrupted. On March 2nd, 2015, Adam Johnson was arrested by Durham police on suspicion of sexual activity with a child under 16. The investigation moved quickly. Within days, he was released on bail, but the legal process had begun. In May, formal charges were filed: 1 count of sexual activity with a child and 1 count of grooming. Sunderland suspended him immediately after the charges became public. Johnson entered a not guilty plea at first, but the case pressed on. For nearly a year, he continued to appear on the team sheet, playing under the weight of a criminal investigation. The details of the case became public as court proceedings unfolded. During the trial at Bradford Crown Court in February 2016, Johnson changed his plea. He admitted to 1 count of sexual activity with a child and 1 count of grooming, but he denied the more serious charge of penetrative sex. The jury heard evidence, including messages exchanged with the victim and accounts of their meetings. On March 2nd, 2016, the jury delivered its verdict. Johnson was found guilty of sexual activity with a child. 3 weeks later, on March 24th, 2016, the court handed down its sentence. Judge Jonathan Rose imposed a 6-year prison term, citing the breach of trust and the victim's age. Johnson was also placed on the sex offenders register indefinitely. There was no room for negotiation or leniency. The sentencing was clear and final. Sunderland responded within hours. The club issued a statement confirming Johnson's contract was terminated with immediate effect. The wording left no doubt. His conduct had left the club with no option. There was no appeal, no waiting period, no discussion about a possible return. Johnson's professional football career stopped at 28, not through injury or form, but by a court order and a prison sentence. The judgment was public, the consequences irreversible. Football, as an institution, drew a line that would not be crossed again. Contract terminated by Sunderland. Those 4 words ended more than Adam Johnson's employment. They erased his place in the game. The club's statement left no room for debate. His conduct meant there was no option but to sever all ties, effective immediately. There was no final appearance, no farewell to teammates or fans, no chance to explain or apologize from the pitch. At 28, a career that had followed every expected step, academy, breakthrough, trophies, international caps, was stopped in a single afternoon. Inside the club, administrators faced a decision with no precedent in their recent history. Safeguarding protocols and legal obligations overruled any consideration of past service or on-field value. The risk to the club's reputation, to its duty of care, and to the broader football community outweighed every other factor. Sunderland's leadership made clear in public statements that the decision was absolute. There would be no appeal, no suspension pending review, and no pathway for return, not as a player, not as a coach, not even as a public ambassador for the club. The doors closed behind him and stayed closed. This response was not unique to Sunderland. Across the Premier League, Contracts include strict clauses for immediate termination in cases of serious criminal conduct, especially offenses involving minors. The Football Association and league authorities reinforce this stance through compliance checks and safeguarding regulations. After Johnson's conviction, there was no discussion of rehabilitation or second chances. The football industry's safeguarding experts pointed to the need for clear boundaries. Protecting young people and maintaining public trust demanded an uncompromising line. In the weeks that followed, the silence around Johnson's future was total. Endorsement deals vanished overnight. His likeness was removed from video games. No club, in England or abroad, expressed interest in offering a new start. For football, the issue was settled. There was no ambiguity, no debate about redemption. The identity built over decades, Premier League regular, England international, hometown hero, was replaced by a single fact: contract terminated by Sunderland. In this world, some lines, once crossed, cannot be uncrossed. The game moved on, leaving no space for return. Today, safeguarding and zero-tolerance policies define English football's response to criminal conduct. There is no way back once that line is crossed. For players and institutions alike, reputation and trust remain fragile. The game moves on, but the cost of lost identity never fully disappears. Share your thoughts below.